So this is the result. Before I go into anything, I will show you this is the result. I just follow Instagram. So if I go into Instagram, so this is how Instagram layout. And then I mimic one of their way to visualize the image. And then when I click on this image, it will come up one pop-up like this. So everything over here is handled by three things. One, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. On how do you place the objects, how do you place the image, how do you put on all the name, followers, and the image, and then how do you leave a comment over here, right? So it's one of the very simple demo that I work on for this webinar. So this is the end result. I will show you step by step. This is the first step. When I refresh anything, and then over here is just a clean HTML code where you can see that everything from here. This is only the lead IO 101 posts, followers, lead, full stack web development. Compared to this one, I have something more nice to view. Let's go into our code. So this is the first step. When we want to create any website, we need to come with HTML. You can't run away from HTML itself. There are a few things that you need to, I would say, memorize. Okay, you need to memorize on when you're creating a HTML. The first line, when you see on inside HTML file, is a doc type HTML. This is to tell that browsers to render this file as a HTML file. And then you need to start with HTML. Any HTML file will need to start with HTML tag and end with HTML tag. And then we will have a head and body. Head is where we place our title or keywords, the meta setting, like the width of device and the encoding, UTF-8. And obviously, sometimes we need to handle on Internet Explorer or Internet or Edge, because Edge, some of the libraries are not compatible with that. So as a full stack, as a front end developer or full stack developer, you need to handle on that particular stuff. And then some of the time we will put in on the CSS our style inside our head, and every content that we want to put inside the website is we will put inside body. And this is how we segment out all the contents. So you can see that the lead IO 101 posts, 141 followers, 430 following, and then if you can see from here, so everything is inside here. And then there's few ways for you to visualize or check on the HTML code. Is you can just right click inside Chrome and Mozilla Firefox. If you're using Internet Explorer, I don't think you're able to do that. You can just use inspect. So for inspect, you're able to see all the codes from here, or you can just right click, view source page. And these are the codes from the website. The second one will be CSS. When I include the CSS inside the HTML, you're able to see the line, the icon from here, and then how do I place my wording compare with this one. So this is how CSS differentiate or style your whole website out. So let's go to code. This is I will just split left and right for you to compare. The only thing different between these two code is I had added the style sheet over here. So I just add the style, that how do I want to place my stuff, and as well as one of the libraries which I use a lot, Bootstraps. So I will let you see the CSS. So this is the CSS. All the settings on the theme, how do I want things to float, everything is handled from here. For example, body is the HTML tag body. And from here, this is the white background, right? I can change this one to red. If I save it, so you can see, the body will change into red color. So it depends on how do you want to set on the CSS style, right? So this is CSS, and then the only thing is I include my own CSS file and Bootstrap, right? This is Bootstrap. I use a lot of Bootstrap on creating my websites, because Bootstrap itself, they have a lot of I would say pre-built components over here, and then examples as well as the things that I want. So I use a lot on, where's my form? So everything can be handled from here. So if you type anything, right, admin at delete.io and my password. So you can submit the form over here, and then they also provide you the code with the class. So how do you define the style of that particular sections? We can use the class to define the theme that we want. So for form group is the something same inside our index.css, the header content. If you can see header content from here, so this is where I want to place my I want to do the theme settings for my header content in these particular divisions. So these settings will only apply within these sections only. So it won't affect for other divisions or other sections or other structures or widgets. So this is CSS. So the third one is I add image inside. The difference is image only. If you can compare, I only add image in my line 23. So how you can for this is what we call static websites, because from based on this source, it's where we point the location of that particular image file inside my project folder. But if you want to create a dynamic one, you will need to pass in the link to that particular image to visualize or to show inside your website. So this is the image file. If I show you the structures, so these are my image file, right? So I place my image file over here, and then I just tell HTML to look for my image folder and then my image file. Sometimes we need to use static images, for example, logo. We won't change our logo, right? And then we won't change our favorite icons. The small icons that you can see inside, this one, this, B, and then this one, this is favorite icons. So that is something that we won't change, so we will put inside a static file. So this is a website or a small projects with HTML and CSS. The next one will be the JavaScripts. And you won't really need to code on this JavaScript, is because Bootstrap already help you to handle on this one. The only thing is you need to include the code only. So for example, this is the model. So I don't really code most of the things inside here, right? I search for this one. There's a lot of tools outside and the code outside that already been done by other developers. The only thing is you need to just get their code and then place inside your code and then run it. So how do I learn my programming languages? Normally I will copy and paste the code and then I run it inside my computer or my workstation. Then if that is the result that I want, then only I will go and understand how it works, because that will help me to progress faster. So from here, normally I just copy and paste the whole code over here, and then only I start to see how do they handles on the image, how do they change, how do they do the float, everything. You can even test on over here, there's a floating. But the way that I did is totally different. So I use their concept and then I change it to the way I want. So this is handled by JavaScript and Bootstrap itself. So you can see, this project only took me like few hours to get it up with HTML, JavaScript, and CSS to get something static. Why do I show this one is because if you want to build your own unicorn web applications and then you don't know about any technical skills, right? You can just start with something on HTML, JavaScript, CSS. How do you place stuff? How do you build something? Some things that has actions, and then you can start and go pitch about your ideas to someone. At least something for you to start. So normally, I will let you guys know that I will be very, very honest to say that I started my programmer life or my programmer career by using HTML, JavaScript, CSS in my university. The first thing that I learned is HTML, JavaScript, and CSS to come up with static web applications. And then only I start to learn on how does the server goes, how does the server works, and how can you create a static, how do you create a dynamic web applications. There's something that I want to share with you guys is Font Awesome. It's one of the free icon that I use. So for example, my Instagram icon is this one. I use from the website itself. This is something that is very nice to use. Font Awesome. You just need to use to specify the class, and then you're able to get something like this. So this is the overview on how does HTML looks like, and then how does CSS affect your HTML, as well as how do you use JavaScript to handle on actions. So the first one is HTML, the structures of the website. I'll start with the lead IO, how many posts, followers, and how many people following. And then I use CSS to style my website. So this is the styling. So this will look something better. It will help your website to look better. And then the next one will be putting on it into images. And the last one will be the actions. So whenever I click on this image, it will pop up something over here. So this is what we call actions, interactions, which we handle by JavaScript.